Welcome to Mortgages and More, your go-to podcast for the latest insights in the mortgage industry. Join us as we dive into expert advice, unveil actionable tips, and learn how to empower the next generation of home buyers. Get ready to elevate your knowledge and make those property dreams a reality. Let's get started.
Wow. So when we talk about let's get started, this literally is where it all started, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, it is.
It's where it all began. So Scott, man, you got Kyle and I connected by being awesome, being who you are. And this thing is taking on a life of its own. Kyle, I'm going to hand this to you, man.
Yeah, it's wild to think that, Scott, just a few months ago, we were sitting in Black Walnut Cafe, having people look at us like we're crazy people because we're sitting there in this quiet cafe recording videos, one of which was sent to you, Brian. And we didn't know each other. We didn't know who the other one even was. And because of Scott Payne, not only do we know each other and are friends now, but we are co-authoring this book with a bunch of insanely amazing people. And without Scott Payne, it just doesn't happen.
Crazy.
So
all I did, Kyle, was follow your instructions in your book. Talked about connecting people, being a connector. And
that's it, man.
Here we are. This is
we are.
Story. Yeah.
And so, bro, it's an honor to have you be a part of this. And so I'd love for you to just quickly give the people a little morsel of goodness from the chapter you're writing for this book. Don't give it away, but just go over the surface of it for us. So
one thing that I've put together is a very personal story for myself, right? And it is something that, I've been in the lead management space for over 20 years now. I've been doing stuff with lead management for over 20 years. And I never really knew why, or thought I knew why I was so ingrained in this and why it was so attractive to me to continue in this profession. And a couple of years ago, it kind of hit home as I went through my dad's storage unit, because my father, when I was 9 years old, committed suicide, made the unfortunate decision to commit suicide. And about a couple of years ago, as I went through his storage unit for the first time after 30 years, as I went through it and unpacked letters and all of his belongings, I found letters that he had written to mortgage loan officers and underwriters with letters of explanation about his situation, about why he wanted to be a homeowner again. We were in an apartment, a small apartment in Grapevine, Texas, and sharing bedrooms with 3 kids, where we had come from a house that had, a backyard, and he had that dream of home ownership, to have that again. And so as I read these letters, it occurred to me why I'm on this earth, why I am part of this lead management community. And that is to help loan originators nurture every customer the right way, to have enough time to help as many people as possible, and to really help everyone be able to achieve that home ownership. And so I tell a story about how all of that transpired, and then I tie it all together with tips and tricks, 3 really big tips that someone could implement today. They could start doing it as they're reading the book. They could implement these 3 things to help change the lives of every customer out there. Every customer has a story. Every customer has a special situation. And it is up to the loan officer to be that advisor, to be able to help them with that dream of home ownership.
Wow. So powerful, bro. To watch you, to have a front row seat for the last couple of years, to watch this awakening inside of you.
Yeah.
To really find and understand your why, and make it so much deeper than, I work with a CRM. It's just so powerful. And so I know that your chapter is going to serve a lot of people, because obviously Brian and I are walking examples of you serving this industry at such a high level. What's something that didn't make the final cut? Was there 4 tips that you were going to give and you had to cut one out? What can you give us today?
I really wanted to spend more time on actionable, in the weeds type of stuff. Anybody who knows me knows that I get really fired up and excited when I start talking about ways to execute on lead management or automation or workflow. So if I could go back, I would love to be able to add more details of like an action plan. Like, here is what you need to do on day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and day 30 and day 45 and 90, and give loan officers that action plan to put into place that can help them move to the next level as it relates to lead management. Lead management is boring, right? And so we've got to do things to spice it up. That's why I wear a wig and be memorable and do all of these things, is because lead management just is not one of those topics that
made it 5.5 minutes without mentioning your mullet. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Wait a minute,
pretty proud of ourselves.
That's a wig?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. It's and I have multiple ones.
Though, what's funny though about your wig is that, like, when it came time for playoff football in high school, which most people may not know, that Scott and I went to rival high schools. I played football with his brother.
Yep.
We bleached our hair blonde for the playoffs.
Our high school did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
So Scott, what's to be very practical for the listener or viewer of this that is at day 0? Like, they've maybe even, like most of us, I paid for a CRM for years. And then finally I'm like, have I paid for this for 2 years? And I have never even logged into this. Like, and I feel like that's probably more normal. And so what is that day 0 first thing that somebody should stop and go, before the day is over, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z? What would that be?
And there's a lot. I would say the place to start is that you need to have, and this is something I talked about with Alec Hansen a couple of years ago on his podcast, was about like remember this, like a field that is, remember this about this consumer. What are their goals? Like, be very detailed into what the goals are, dogs' names, kids' names, ages, aspirations, etc., and have that as a starting point. Make sure you get that from every customer that you can starting today.
So good.
That is so powerful as it relates to when you follow up 30 days, 90 days, a year or two later, to have that at your fingertips and be able to leverage that to make that a personal experience for that consumer every time you talk to them, and not just they feel like a number somewhere else.
Well, and now it's so easy. I could go to Facebook right now.
Yeah.
Go to a past client's page, just start browsing their posts. Yep. And I'm going to get the wife's name. If I didn't know it already, I'm going to see a dog or a cat or a new nephew was born. All that data is there. I just have to take a little bit of time to go actually look it up.
And then store it somewhere. And that's where the CRM comes into play, because once you have it somewhere, you could do something like, Cowboys win the Super Bowl, because we all know they're going to win it this year. And so when they win it this year, you're going to be able to search Cowboys, and you're going to find all your customers who are Cowboys fans and record a quick video that says, hey, just wanted to say congratulations. It's been so long since my last win. Do things like that as they come up, current events, or could be rates, or, there's so many things.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. And then Brian could send that video to no one, because there are no Detroit Lions fans.
That's right. Very few. Yeah.
Oh, they're out there. They're just hidden. We're still not willing to come out of the ground.
Yeah,
bro. I just want to say, as we wrap this up, like, it has been such a joy for me to watch the way you're unlocking, like, what is possible inside of a CRM and lead management, because you are truly humanizing it, so that it's not just, hey, it's your birthday, here's a generic email that I typed up 8 years ago that we've never changed.
Yep.
But you're bringing that personable touch to it. And I would argue that you're better off doing 10% of the touches on a personal level than 100% of the touches that's obvious that you had nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. So grateful for you, bro. It's an honor to have you a part of this book, because without you, this book would not have existed.
Not a chance.
I would say too, can I just at least throw in why I'm wearing a mullet?
Yes.
I feel like people are going to get, this is like, man, this guy's weird. They're going to see me on social media doing it. But it ties it all together back on my dad, is that I'm part of the Dad's Club. I run the Dad's Club at my kids' middle school, which usually you do a Dad's Club in elementary school, whatever. Middle school, I brought it to middle school and said, we're going to go all in on this. We open doors. We do a number of things. The reason why I do it is that the last place I saw my dad was at morning drop off at school. I got out of the car as the last time I saw him. And so it's my way to give back, to know that every student who was walking in that building that day could have a bad day, could have a good day, but you know what? They're going to laugh when they walk by Mr. Payne because I'm going to have a different wig on, or I'm going to be dancing or doing something funny. And we're trying to make people smile, give back and try to get people to smile. So for those people who are wondering what this wig is, this is something that I do on Fun Hair Fridays. I do lots of videos on Fun Hair Friday as well, me walking around with some tips, etc. I've got my sweatbands here now for getting in shape, right? As we get into the CRM. So now we're getting into shape.
I'm still waiting on my sweatband.
I've got it right here. Yeah, next time I see you, I'm ready to go. Yep.
So awesome. I love it. Love everything you're doing, dude.
Appreciate you guys very much. This is so cool to be part of this and cannot wait to see the final product. It's going to be so good. It's going to change lives.
Well, look at, we are in the midst of our 30 and 30. This one is special to all of us, and come back tomorrow. We will not disappoint. Again, thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks, guys.
See
Have a
you.
good day.